Nearly 1 in 10 people will experience an eating disorder in their lifetime. Erin Harrop is one of them.
I had an eating disorder kind of that emerged in childhood and then didn't get diagnosed until I was 15 years old.
They weren't able to access specialized treatment until they were 22. Even then, the treatment wasn't always helpful. Sometimes, in their experience, it can make an eating disorder even worse.
I was allowed to go days without eating, without being supplemented. The processes of stripping down and being weighed in very little clothing or no clothing at all for some people, having those weights be done publicly, right? Where you're standing in line with your peers all in your gowns or underwear or whatever it is that they have you.
On top of supervised showers and trips to the bathroom, they often saw bias and stigma from providers. These are all issues that Senate Bill 117 aims to tackle. Vincent Atchity with Mental Health Colorado says this bill would put in place standards of care for eating disorder treatment programs.
Until now, there have been no such thing as formalized standards of care in those settings.
Dr. Jennifer Hagman, medical director of Children's Hospital Colorado's Eating Disorders Program, says they see a lot of kids with severe eating disorders coming in need of help. And she knows it can be hard to access care at any age.
But the rates are high, and I think it's part of why I think these bills are so important at the legislative level, because it really brings awareness to just how serious these problems are and truly the challenges that people have finding care.
Harrop says not every experience they had in treatment was harmful. They say this bill is critical to make care more accessible and not just helpful, but healing.
It's really hard work to do. It's a very delicate balance, but I do think that this legislation is a start.
Senate Bill 117 moved out of committee earlier today. It's now headed over to appropriations. That's where supporters say the bill could face some hiccups due to the administrative cost of some of these new practices being put in place. Eating disorder legislation did hit a similar road bump over in appropriations last year. Advocates say they're hopeful that lawmakers will recognize the need for these changes despite the cost.
Pretty stark and pretty startling to hear what actually goes on in some of these programs.
Yeah, they can be absolutely harrowing. Experience can really traumatize a lot of the people who are already dealing with such a tough time.
Rachel Krause, thank you.